2023 is just around the corner, which brings us to 20 years of the anniversary of one of the most controversial TV shows of the entire century that really have given their contestants some lifelong trauma, and that is America's Next Top Model. America's Next Top Model was hosted by legendary supermodel Tyra Banks, and its format was to bring a bunch of aspiring models together to compete for the opportunity to change their lives forever, quite literally, by making a young model's dream come true. But as with most Y2K reality TV shows, there were tons of trashy TV moments constructed by producers in order to keep the show entertaining. However, out of all the weird and bizarre TV shows of the 2000s, America's Next Top Model arguably was the worst when it came to the treatment of its contestants, and in the last years, people who have rewatched the show over a decade later have now realized that there were some moments in the series that were literally traumatizing, not only for the viewers, but especially for the innocent contestants. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at the worst and most controversial moments that have happened throughout the show's history. By the 11th cycle, America's Next Top Model had seen contestants from nearly every type of background that you can think of, and viewers were stunned when Isis King was introduced as the first ever transgender woman to compete on the show. Isis was personally scouted to audition by the host Tyra Banks herself, after appearing as an extra in a photo shoot of the previous cycle, which took place at an LGBTQ homeless shelter.
Yes, there we go.
It blew me away, and I tell my staff, I'm like, this girl is absolutely amazing. She's got to come back for America's Next Top Model.
When Isis was sent into the competition, despite receiving a warm welcome from the judges, the other contestants were not as personable and a lot more confused and started prying into Isis before even properly getting to know her.
Are you all female?
Physically, without one, no.
One of the contestants, Sheena, stuck up for Isis and said that she deserved to compete just like anybody else. However, Sheena was pretty much the only one who had any sort of respect for Isis, and most others were immediately creating an uncomfortable environment.
But then again, if it comes between me and my goal, I'll stop that man right out of the competition.
There was already a huge amount of tension in the air since at the time the cycle was being filmed, most people were nowhere near as educated about the trans community as they are today. However, as the competition went on, the insensitivity soon escalated and Isis became the victim of a huge amount of bullying and transphobia by the other contestants.
God, in a small town, you were shot.
This is the funniest thing that's in my head. Her like trying to be sexy. Reality is she's a man.
She needs some heat to burn off all that hair.
Isis powered through all of the transphobia and placed 5th overall in the competition, beating lots of the girls that had been making harmful comments, and later went on to compete in an all-stars cycle of the show. Isis did an interview with Hello Magazine in 2021 where she spoke about her experience on the show and how she felt in the moment. In the interview, she said, "As hurtful as so much of that was to watch for me back then, if I was to change any of that back then, I might not have had the strength I needed 14 years later to be who I am now. I had to go through that, unfortunately, but it helped push the conversation forward on a global scale. That is a moment in history, and it all started with me believing in myself and following my heart." In season 4, contestant Kaylin was given some absolutely devastating news during the competition, as she was told that one of her friends from home had sadly passed away.
I was completely shocked. I don't know if I can handle this.
Obviously, this impacted her mental state massively as she now had to try to grieve while also striving to impress the judges in competition. But to say that the producers of the show did Kathleen dirty is literally such an understatement, as for whatever reason, they decided to send the contestants to do a photo shoot in a literal graveyard. And just when you thought that things couldn't get any worse, Kathleen was tasked with having to model inside a literal coffin.
I want you to channel all your energy into this. It's acting. I want you to even take all your nerves and take all of that and turn it into just like anger. Every bit of might in your body. I want to see it.
Yeah, that's great. Just keep it right there. I'm getting.
I'm sure the producers would love to say this was just a coincidence and was planned way before she received her news, but I honestly believe that there was a truly sociopathic person behind this who wanted to basically just traumatize Colleen for TV ratings. If rewatching America's Next Top Model has taught me anything, it is that Tyra Banks is probably one of the most bizarre people I have ever seen on TV. Like, she seriously knew how to make great TV, however, it was pretty much always at someone else's expense. And this moment from her show proves just how emotionally manipulative she can be sometimes. There was a moment that actually went viral on TikTok in which Tyra was called out by a ton of TikTok users. The clip starts out by the judges telling potential contestants who are all holding an envelope that if they have their picture inside their envelope, they have to go through the competition, and if they don't, they will be going home.
Excited group of girls you've ever seen in your life.
Those who do not have a photo.
Okay.
You will be going home.
Yeah, makes sense. Always. They always do that. Oh my gosh. Look how excited the girl. Oh my god, these girls, their dreams, all of their dreams came true. But some didn't, of course.
Amongst all of the girls cheering that the picture was in their envelopes were the girls that were sadly getting sent back home. Or were they?
Tyra always feels really bad about this, and
Sure she does.
So, unfortunately, you guys have to go home now. But you don't have to go far.
because you're hot!
Honestly, this is kind of a surprise and a great TV moment, but remember earlier when I said that Tyra can't give good TV without being at others' expense? Yeah. Well, this is a prime example of that, as the girls who originally thought that their dreams had come true were actually now the ones with their dreams getting broken into pieces. Literally, it is so insane that someone with any sort of empathy could do that to another human being. Sure, it is a reality competition show, so you should be prepared for getting eliminated, but building these girls up so much to make them think that they were going to do this once-in-a-lifetime thing, and then telling them, sorry, just kidding, you're going home, is the work of a psychopath. Okay, so far we have covered what I consider to be the worst and most problematic moments over the course of America's Next Top Model, whether it be enabling contestants to be bullied for their identity, using someone's grief for ratings, or just pure emotional abuse. However, there was one photo shoot on America's Next Top Model that I think is the worst idea that any human has ever come up with. Take a look at this. This was a photo shoot where the models were made to transform into another race, or to put it bluntly, do blackface, as well as several other impersonations of people from ethnicities that the contestants did not belong to.
A black girl with a nose job, come on.
You're a Jackson.
It's a tight little cute fro.
Got milk?
Oh, got milk? I got you, sweetie, I got you. You're not gonna go.
Couple more.
Brittany, best shoot to date.
They had white contestants dress up as black women and mixed race women. They also had a mixed race contestant dress up as an Icelandic woman. It was all kinds of messed up. And the worst part about this, you guys, is that instead of looking back at the situation and realizing how unbelievably messed up it was, they actually decided to repeat the segment on a later cycle of the show.
Relax more, and I really need to show younger Brittany that exists under this very composed mathematician.
Exaggerated even more.
So there you have it. These are, in my opinion, some of the worst moments in the entire history of America's Next Top Model. As much fun as it was to watch at the time, it's safe to say that the fact that this show won't be coming back doesn't upset me in the slightest. And it's way better off as left than nothing more than a relic of trashy Y2K TV. Thanks for watching.